The historic Colonial Fox Theater in Pittsburgh could soon tell a new story. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, the historic Colonial Fox Theater in Pittsburgh could soon have a new story to tell. Plus, a bank in Joplin gets the green light to continue business after an SUV crashes into the side of it. And some twins in Joplin take their love of Halloween to a whole new level.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The historic Colonial Fox Theater in Pittsburgh could get a new life. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The Fox Theater Foundation tells us they're in discussions with Pitt State to use the building as part of the Kels Business School. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has the story.
I think myself out there with my grandma, and I think my grandparents out there together on their first date. So I do have a lot of old memories here. I remember in like the 70s, it was a thriving theater.
Todd Loveland is one of many Pittsburgh residents who cherish his memories at the historic Colonial Fox Theater. Now, the event promoter is excited about the conversations on the future of the building.
I think it'll be bright and shiny.
According to the Fox Theater Foundation, they are in discussions with Pitt State to use the building as part of the Kelsey Business School.
We wanted it to remain in some way, shape, or form a connection to our community. So we're hoping with everything that's taking place that everybody's going to get what they want with this theater and get everything that they need. And we're going to get it done in a timely fashion.
Pitt State says they are still working through the partnership details. Opened in 1920, the theater's design was inspired in buildings established in large cities. This old projector was used at Fox Theater from the 40s to the 80s. And this is just another reason why this building is so important for this community. It tells Pittsburgh history, but also film history.
The side lights changed color during the seasons. They had no heat and air, so they would make them a lot darker and warmer colors in the winter, so subconsciously you thought that it was warm in here.
But over the years, especially since it was closed in the 80s, the Colonial Fox Theater started losing its light and warmth. Since 2006, the Colonial Fox Theater Foundation has been raising funds to restore the building.
Past boards, the current board has worked so hard to fundraise to keep that theater warm, dry, safe. It's all been plumbed. It's ready to go for that next projects, for the next life it's going to take on.
Over the years, more than $2 million were put into infrastructure and capital improvements. But now it's time for new beginnings.
The foundation, their job in the near future will be to deal with the programming side of the Colonial Fox Theater. That's very important for us, that the new children of the young kids of today can still pop in there to go hopefully watch a movie and have that same experience.
New beginnings and new memories like Loveland's and Watts's to be made. In Pittsburgh, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Now tomorrow and Friday, the Fox Theater will host its last movie sessions. Kind of dreary out there, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, definitely. We've had the clouds all day long, some scattered light showers, and drizzle has really been kind of rolling through all day long. But temperature's not bad, 75 for a high. Average high is 68 degrees for this time of the year. But some of the roads are wet, drying out a bit, Joplin, also Pittsburgh, but do expect some scattered showers as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Here's wave 1, which is pushing through. Very light. Again, just very hit and miss, very light showers, a few Cherokee County, Jasper County, down through parts of Ottawa County. But besides that, we look okay. Very hit and miss light showers continue tonight and then into the morning hours. And then we have numerous other waves which will affect us as we go through the next several days. And of course, we're going to be looking at all that coming up here in just a little bit.
See you soon. Kansas' mother is suing Agape boarding school in Cedar County, Missouri for the wrongful death of her son. The litigation is the latest in a string of lawsuits against the now closed institution. Kathleen Britt, mother of Jason Britt here, says her son faced physical, emotional, and sexual abuse while at Agape. Her suit also contends the mental scars Jason Britt carried with him after he left the Christian boarding school drove him to abuse, steroids, drugs, and alcohol. His mother says that combination proved deadly. A leader with a statewide support group for survivors of sexual abuse in churches wants anyone else with knowledge of wrongdoing at Agape to come forward.
When victims and witnesses and whistleblowers stay silent, that's when abuse continues. And when we speak up, there's at least a chance that those who commit and conceal abuse will be exposed, will be prosecuted.
Support groups like SNAP want the statute of limitations to be extended or eliminated on sexual abuse prosecution and civil cases seeking damages. Police in Lamar, Missouri say they have arrested 2 more suspects in the stabbing of a student. The incident happened Friday night near the football stadium after a home football game. Police say 3 male juveniles waited hidden between parked cars before attacking 2 male students. One victim, who is 15 years old, was punched in the face. The other, a 14-year-old, was stabbed multiple times. He was released from the hospital on Sunday. 1 suspect was arrested over the weekend, meaning 3 have now been arrested in total. Police say they are all from Pittsburgh. Their ages are 14, 14, and 16. All 3 are charged with first-degree assault. A Galena, Kansas man is going to prison for meth trafficking and illegal possession of a firearm. A judge sentenced Carlos Gandy to 20 years in federal prison without parole. Gandy pleaded guilty to intent to distribute meth and possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime. Gandy was sentenced as an armed career criminal due to his prior felony convictions. A Joplin bank is in need of some repairs after an SUV crashed into the side of that building. Happened around 9:30 last night. Police say the SUV left the road and ran into the east side of Southwest Missouri Bank on Zora and North Range Line. The driver of the vehicle was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Joplin building inspector says the building is still safe to be inside. A brother and sister in Joplin are using the spooky season to put some smiles on some faces. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has that story.
I was very impressed because he was 4.5, and I thought it was really sweet and thoughtful, and I was really touched and moved. And then when the ideas started coming and we started painting and making stuff and our focus lasted about 5 seconds, that's when I realized, like, oh my gosh, we have taken a lot on here.
Adrienne Pfeffer is the proud mother of twin brother and sister, Kellen and Kinsley. Together, these 7-year-olds are quite the team when it comes to decorating for their favorite holiday.
Some things you like get to paint and you get to make crafts, like in the tree over there. We have some, Kellen loves milk, so we make milk containers and we glue things onto it and we put spider web on it.
Okay. And put lights in it.
Yeah.
The decorating tradition started in 2020. At that time, Kellen and Kinsley were only 4. At the time, COVID prevented the two from the usual Halloween festivities. But then Kellen had an idea.
We looked around in our car doing watching for Halloween, and then I said to my mom, maybe we should do Halloween to make smiles on other people's faces, because we got smiles on people's faces from going around and looking at their stuff.
And sure enough, 3 years later, the decorations are something to admire, and a smile is sure to dawn the face of anyone who lays eyes on the Pfeffer house. Oh, don't worry, the decorations look even better in the dark. Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well done, kids. It looks great. Adrienne says the kids try to add something new every day. Coming up in sports, champions are going to be crowned tonight on the volleyball court. John has all the details from an exciting night in local sports. But first, the House remains divided after another representative pulls his name for consideration for House Speaker.
Let's go places.
House Republicans are once again scrambling for a path forward after Minnesota Representative Tom Emmer dropped his bid for Speaker just hours after winning his party's nomination. The swift exit from the race is the latest sign that Republicans are still no closer to electing a new speaker 3 weeks after Kevin McCarthy's historic ouster. Republicans, at last report, were holding another candidate forum. Sources say they were going to try to vote to pick a new nominee after that forum. Israel says it's launched more than 400 airstrikes on Hamas targets in Gaza over the past day. And an 85-year-old Israeli hostage released from her Hamas captors is speaking out. Tina Kraus reports from Tel Aviv.
The day after Hamas freed 85-year-old Yocheved Lifshitz, she described going through hell for more than 2 weeks as a hostage in Gaza.
My mom is saying that she was taken on the back of a motorbike. She was hit by sticks until they reached the tunnels.
Lifshitz's husband is believed to be among the more than 200 hostages Hamas is still holding. The Israel Defense Forces dropped leaflets in Gaza, offering cash rewards to Palestinians who give information on their whereabouts. Hundreds of thousands of Israeli troops are positioned near the Gaza border for an expected ground assault. On Tuesday evening, President Biden was asked if the U.S. is pressing Israel to delay its invasion.
Israelis are making their own decisions.
Inside Gaza, the Palestinian death toll is rising as Israel intensifies its airstrikes.
But the grievances of the Palestinian people cannot justify the appalling attacks by Hamas, and those appalling attacks cannot justify the collective punishment of the Palestinian people.
The UN Secretary General is calling for a ceasefire, but the Biden administration says right now a ceasefire only benefits Hamas.
This is war. It is combat. It is bloody. It is ugly, and it's going to be messy. And innocent civilians are going to be hurt.
Israel Defense Forces say Hamas is increasing its rocket attacks on Israel while still trying to cross back into the Jewish state. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Today, 8 trucks carrying food, water, and medicine were allowed across the border, the first in 24 hours. But observers say it's not nearly enough to meet the demand and ease a growing humanitarian crisis. A little bit later, what better way to wrap up high school volleyball season than with a pair of championship matches? John's going to have the highlights for us in sports.
Plus, we have plenty of rain chances sticking around as we go through the next few days. I'm going to break that down for you coming up. Well, of course, we had a great weekend. We had a great Monday, and then dreary outside for us today. A lot of clouds. We've had scattered light showers kind of pushing through, and drizzle have been working through during the afternoon, evening, and then, of course, still outside for us right now. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, who's had the rain? Everybody in the light blue. Not much, under 1/10 of an inch. You can see our eastern counties haven't picked up anything at all. Better amounts, so at least 1/4 to 1/2 for Fredonia, Chanute, Iola, over toward Yates Center. So it's mainly been our western counties as these light showers continue to push through. But these are going to pick up a little bit as we go through the next couple days. Not a whole bunch right now. You can see a little pocket kind of pushing through the metro from Lamar over toward Carthage, Joplin. Very light showers. Again, not that big of a deal. And that's what we're going to have tonight. Just very light showers sticking around. 79, southerly winds at 15 to 20 gusts. Higher than that, about 25. So here's our first wave that we've been dealing with for us today. Just to the west, you can see the beginnings of wave number 2, which will affect us late tomorrow and tomorrow night. Wave number 3 right behind it, which will affect us on Friday. So let's put all that in motion. Here goes wave 1. Here comes wave 2 in, so we're looking late tomorrow night into Thursday morning. It passes by, this guy shoots to our north, but will try to give us a few showers late Friday. Then our 4th wave digs in, here's the weekend. Look at this rain, and you can even see a little bit of snow across central Kansas, and this is really going to drop our temperatures behind it as we go into early next week. So we do have a lot of changes as we go through the next several days. All right, rain chances, scattered showers tonight, may bump up a little bit tomorrow afternoon, but shoot up our best chances for rain late tomorrow night into Thursday morning. So let me take you through time. We're going to stop at 6:30 in the morning, hit miss light showers. Hit miss light showers through the morning, but you can see it kind of flares up a little bit by the noon hour. We'll get a batch that shifts through mainly along and north of I-44. Then we get into the evening, mainly dry. Tomorrow night, let's go after midnight. Scattered showers, maybe even a thunderstorm, start to roll back through. So here's 3:30 in the morning on Thursday. We start the day, scattered showers on Thursday. We end the day, mainly dry, as our next wave rolls out of the region, and we'll get ready for the next one to drop in. All right, so rainfall amounts over the next 2 days, they're not going to be much. I think most of us, maybe 1/10 of an inch, maybe upwards to 1/4 of an inch in spots, but most of us, not heavy amounts of rain. All right, day planner for you tomorrow. 68 in the morning, 71 by noon, high temp, 76. We're going to have those hit and miss showers as we go through the day, but big changes down the road. Check this out. 76 tomorrow, 73 on Thursday, 76 Friday. Temperatures stay mild the rest of this week. As that last wave settles in for the weekend, it draws in that cooler air. So a high of only 56 Saturday, 50 on Sunday. Dreary weekend, good weekend to stay inside, do whatever you want to do. Could get our first freeze early next week. Halloween chilly but dry, high temp of 51.
They might have to have a little extra layer underneath that costume. They're trick-or-treating.
A little cool.
Thanks, Doug. A Diamond School District becomes the latest to plug into the esports arena. A couple of hurdles could be finding space and the funding to buy equipment, which would allow students to perform at a high level, but Diamond is looking at possible grants to help pay for that. The school says its goal for the program is to pull in students who do not fit into the traditional after-school programs. That could improve attendance and grades. The school also looks to create a sense of belonging.
There's an opportunity to connect with kids that haven't found that sense of community or found that sense of connection within the school. So we know that students engage better at school and enjoy coming more often whenever they are connected after school. And
the games they're considering are Mario Kart, Rocket League, and other games of that nature. Still ahead, 2 more volleyball district championships get handed out this evening. John Dales has highlights from the match between Nevada and Mount Vernon. That and more up next in sports.
Nevada and Mount Vernon volleyball have seen each other once already this season. The Lady Tigers won that meeting 3-1. This evening, the Big 8 conference foes match up for the second and final time with a district championship on the line. Second meeting between Nevada and Mount Vernon. This one comes with the district title hanging in the balance. Lady Tigers scored the first 5 points in the first set, jumped out to a 7-1 lead after this big-time kill from Delaney Hope. Mount Vernon got its footing, though, underneath them. First, after a longer rally here, Zaya Schmutz, the big kill. That made it 8-5. The freshman had a huge match for Mount Vernon. Then Macy West goes over the top when the Tigers aren't expecting it. The Mountaineers win the first and the second sets. So top-seeded Nevada down 2-0, but not going to go away that quickly, though. Tigers needing a point here. Big block, teaming up Anna Ashby and Jenna Godsey in the third set. Tigers take that one 25-18. Into the fourth set, it's match point, and it's an ace for Zaya Schmutz. She sends Mount Vernon to sectionals, and Mount Vernon wins 3-1, advances to sectionals where it'll face Mountain Grove. Head coach Bridget Schmutz says her message to the team when they were down 5-0 right away was one of confidence.
Just trust what our game plan was. We hadn't executed it yet. You know, they took us out of serve, out of rotation and kind of out of system with their serve. And, I just said, we have a game plan and we just need to trust it. And once we get into it, I think we're going to be okay.
Meanwhile, in Verona, another district title game taking place between Thomas Jefferson Independent and College Heights Christian. Now, second meeting between these two as well. Cavaliers of Thomas Jefferson won that first meeting 3-2 late last month, and they win it again this evening when it matters most. 3-1. Match gets decided quickly. The Cavs Move on to the sectionals, where this Thursday they're going to face Galena, who has an intimidating 33-1-1 record. Over to the Major League Baseball postseason. You don't have to be a baseball fan to appreciate what's happening tonight. That's the two best words in all of sports. Game 7. The National League Championship Series between the Phillies and Diamondbacks has gone the distance, and Game 7 goes final. Arizona wins it 4-2, holding on to that lead all night. And the Diamondbacks now will advance on to the World Series to face the AL champions. That's the Texas Rangers.
Exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I think it's for people that might not have been following baseball with the Royals and Cardinals, not having a good year. Right. It's probably weird to see the Diamondbacks in the World Series. Same thing with the Rangers, but two very good teams this year for sure.
All right. We'll be right back.
You never know when you are a friend.
Hey, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. It's absolutely free of charge. You'll find it in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Again, all you have to do is look for KOAM Skywatch weather app. I have it on my phone.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you?
I use the radar all the time. I guess I should look at the forecast, but I know what they are because I make them.
Yeah, you have a good point there. But yeah, a lot of people check out that radar for sure.
Well, you want to check it out over the next few days. We're going to have light rain, but we are going to have on and off showers really all the way through the weekend. The weekend's going to be the more persistent rain.
Final sports notes.
Yeah, volleyball district playoffs continuing to wrap up tomorrow. Over on the Kansas side, Colgan already won its sub-state tournament. It's heading to state this week, so we're going to catch up with the Panthers.
Very good. We're going to leave you tonight with another look from the Pfeffer House in Joplin and those fantastic Halloween decorations. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
On KOAM News is sponsored by Aaron Sachs and Associates, proud